to today's Gold Conversation, where we sit down with leaders and stakeholders in the agricultural sector and have conversations with them on improving the agricultural space. And today, all the way from the beautiful county of Nakuru, we are honored to have with us the CEC of Agriculture, Mr. Leonard Boer, and he's going to be talking to us about agriculture in Nakuru County. Come along with me, let's meet our esteemed guest of the day. How are you?
Fine. How are you, Ngina?
Good. We are so happy to be in Nakuru County to talk about agriculture.
Karibu sana.
Thank you so much for making time. Situanze, Ama. Let's go.
Thank you. Good.
We know that Nakuru County is one of the regions that has been blessed with great climatic conditions all year round, and you produce a lot of horticultural products. Please give us an overview of the current state of agriculture in this county.
Nakuru County, we are blessed with different agroecological zones that supports quite a number of crops, a number of value chains. Number one, we start with the maize. Thanks to the subsidy program that we got, Nakuru County, we expect to harvest a lot. It's actually a pampa harvest for us as a county. And this will go a long way in ensuring that the food security in our county, of course, is sorted. Number two, our farmers are going to earn quite a good amount of income from the crop. And we are looking forward to supporting our farmers in terms of managing the post-harvest losses, which has always been the case, through the provision of dryers.
Now, one of the major agendas that the government is trying to push is on crop diversification, which is very possible for people of Nakuru thanks to the good climatic conditions. We have met farmers who are starting up when it comes to growing coffee, which is not very popular in the region. For those farmers who are trying to diversify, what help are you giving them? What support are you offering them?
Coffee is also one of our value chain here in the county, and we are doing a lot. We have plans underway. Number one, you understand that there is power in marketing collectively, bringing all our farmers into cooperatives that are functional, that are able to follow systematically through the process of registration, acquiring the licenses. And we appreciate that the crop is doing well. The areas that has not been exploited so much is an area about the marketing. And we are doing a lot behind to ensure that we have these farmers actually in their cooperatives to be recognized so that they can be able to market their crop in the auction like any other cooperatives who are already in the crop. So very soon we'll have our plans by working closely with these farmers so that at least they are assisted. I agree that is an area where we have not so much been able to access markets. But unless we access markets, we for sure know that our prices are still going to be low. And again, the challenges in terms of market. That is what we want to resolve.
Now, you have spoken on reviving pyrethrum sector, which we have seen other farmers trying the same. Now, pyrethrum used to do very well in the 80s and the 90s, and now that we are bringing it back, even seeing efforts from the US government to pump in money in that agri-sector. As the CEC of Nakuru County, have you made efforts to speak to the farmers on ground, trying to find out what were the major challenges that made this sector go down, so that as we revive it having learned from our mistakes, and now the only way we can go is up. What are your plans with the pyrethrum sector?
Everything revolves around markets. When market systems fail, for sure even productivity will not be will not be useful at all. So since now we see multi-investors coming to our country, that tells you we have sustainable market now. Ranging from the government-owned, which was the case before, and that kind of monopoly or something like that might have caused the lapses that we experience. But with what we have now, and as we continue to even encourage the use of organic pesticides, which can only be gotten from pyrethrum, to avoid the issues of food, the issue of poisons, the issue of use of synthetic pesticides. I believe there is opportunity in the crop.
Now, where we are standing is a very important place. This is the Nakuru Showground. How can you rate the success of the previous Nakuru ASK, and what more effort are we putting in to make sure that climate-smart agriculture techniques information is passed out, not only to the farmers who attended, but even those in the complete rural areas?
Climate change is a real issue that has seen most of the agricultural, we've had some challenges. Especially now we have erratic weather. We recently experienced huge rains that was not anticipated, and you find most of our crops now being affected in one way or the other. So there is real need for us to emphasize on climate-smart agriculture, to be able to disseminate this information to reach to those mkulima, the small mkulima down there, so that they be aware and we teach them on the best practices, especially on fodder conservation, especially on now growing crops that are adapted to specific area, as opposed to just doing the way we normally do. We do this, of course, through the field days.
Still in the spirit of talking about passing information to our farmers, there's need for active field extension officer services. We have spoken to quite several farmers in the region, and they're struggling with the part where they're not getting as much help from the field extension officers. What are you doing to make sure that these services are not only felt in the offices where we're hearing they've been hired, but they can also be felt on the ground with the farmers?
I can confirm that maybe the ratios, extension to farmer ratio, we've not been able to reach there. But I believe with the plans that it is put in place to be able to see that those retired are replaced on time. And of course, the plans now even to hire more extension officers. And even as we mentioned, that Nakuru is a host to many seed multipliers or seed propagators. And we appreciate, because that is now the case, we have quite a number of people now who have seen the opportunity to come and invest, especially if they are seed producers, those value addition people. And everybody is now in that value chain. We also host many researchers. We work a lot with the local universities around. We have Egerton, we have Arvist, and quite a number of them who are now coming to actually walk this journey with us to see that we have the best innovations. We have done a lot of research so that we are able to come up with products that are drought resistant. And we continue to engage frequently with them so that we actually uplift or see that we have products that can sustain the challenges that we have with the change of climate.
All right, under your docket, there's still livestock, there's fisheries as well. If we talk about the livestock department, we're seeing quite a number of farmers being kicked out of business because of the high cost of production. The feeds are expensive. As the CEC of Agriculture, putting concern into our farmers in the livestock department, what are we doing to help them mitigate their challenges, the challenges that they are currently facing?
It's not just about engaging in the activity or engaging in that production aspect. We want to ensure that our farmers are saving something, are earning money. And to earn money means you don't receive, you don't get paid today, and you can't even sustain your livelihood. For us to be able to sustain that, we encourage our farmers. We continue to capacity build our farmers in terms of fodder preservation, having to produce, to do their own feed formulation, because as it is, the commercial prices in the market for the feeds are so high. They are exorbitant, and if we go that way, our farmers might not be able to sustain. We have invested in bringing these farmers into cooperatives, number one, because unless they are organized, unless they are in groups, they are in their cooperatives, we might not achieve so much. But what we've done, we've organized them into cooperatives. We help them to come up with these bulking and chilling centers. And where we are focusing next, because once they have aggregated their milk, they have now bulk, they have chilled. So instead of them just selling as raw milk, we've gone now an extra mile to be able to teach them. And of course, planning. Dairy is one of our priority value chain. That means we're going to allocate some extra resources to be able now to go the value addition way. By that way, we are going to make sure that most of our farmers now are value adding their products, and we'll see their income increasing. So we do quite a lot, actually.
Now, we recently spoke to a very young farmer. He's 34 years old, and he does a lot of horticultural produce. But one of the challenges he had was if they take their produce to the market when they are few, then they fetch good prices. But the moment they take their products, and there's so many people taking their products, they suffer because they make very little money. So there's the challenge of expanding market, so that even when we have a lot of harvest, they still make money out of their produce. What are your plans with that? Because we're encouraging more people to get into agriculture. We still want them to make a lot of money even when we are a lot of people. What is the plan with expanding that market?
It might not be so much about expanding the market. Because production, during high production, like now we had rains, so we expect a lot of harvest. There is room for more investors now to come in with cold rooms solutions, so that we can have our farmers having their products stored. Just in case, instead of just selling at a throwaway price, they can keep their crops, if it's potatoes, use the cold rooms or cold room solutions to be able to preserve this crop, so that we can be able to sell at that time when production is quite low. And again, on the value addition aspect, I think it's actually going to solve most of these things. Like if we have now not just producing potatoes, for example, for actually table consumption only, we can have those products that can even be used for value addition, because you understand not all products can best be for value addition. Like for potatoes, there are to those potatoes that you can do chips, crisps, and all those. So we also align our farmers into those opportunities that can ensure that they get good prices there in the market. And we also now do a lot in terms of teaching our farmers on how best they can preserve, instead of just marketing, just to market. How do we ensure that the products that they have, that they are delivering to the market, are of good quality, of good size, of good shape, and all those? So that it's not just, because I'm sure you've also gone to the market. Not all products are the same. There are tomatoes that you can see, and you are ready even to buy the whole thing. So it's about competitiveness of these farmers. That is why we encourage them, teaching them good practices and all those, so that the products that end up in the market that is from Nakuru are the best, and they can really move very fast.
Now there you've had it, live and direct from the CEC of Agriculture right here in Nakuru County, Mr. Leonard Bohr, on the great plans that he has for our farmers. Now you know what they say, when our leaders are at the forefront fighting for all matters agriculture, then its people can be rest assured that they are in a safe place. Now that's all we had for you right here in our Gold Conversation, but do keep watching, because we do have a lot more when it comes to all matters agriculture.